It is not looking good for the San Francisco 49ers, at least in the short term, when it comes to injuries. The 49ers have been absolutely piling up injuries this offseason like crazy. Even John Lynch on KMBR said today there was one particular day of practice where they had 23 players out due to some injury related concern. So, when you see this image right here of Aaron Banks with the injured template over him, it's not ideal because what has happened, if you haven't heard already, is for the simple fact that Aaron Banks has broken his pinky finger and has required surgery. So, based on the current timetable for return, it sounds like he could be available for week 1, but sounds like he will miss some time. So, man, the 49ers, just on the offensive line alone, have had injuries to Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Jonathan Feliciano, Spencer Burford. This is crazy how much their depth is getting tested this early on. So now the 49ers have some shuffling they need to do. Aaron Banks, in my opinion, was already having a bit of a down camp, and he really needed these reps. He really needed every opportunity, continue to improve, continue to get better and more consistent as the season progresses. And the fact that he is now going to be knocked out isn't a good sign. So now I do believe they're just like we saw Dominic Pooney take over the starting right guard spot due to injury. Someone can now take Aaron Banks' spot. I don't think Banks has played well enough to just automatically assume it's his if someone steps in and plays really well. I've talked about Nick Sakel really showing out not only throughout the training camp practices, but in preseason. So can Nick Sakel, roll into that left guard spot? We don't really even know what the status is of Jonathan Feliciano right now. I haven't really seen much reported on him since open practices have closed. So I don't even know if Feliciano's ready to go. We don't really have a timetable for return for Spencer Burford. Again, Brendel's been dealing with knee tendonitis earlier this offseason. He's kind of been in and out of the lineup throughout training camp. So, man, this interior offensive line depth is getting tested early. Pooney is proving to be an absolute godsend at this point, considering the injuries that they have on the interior. So, like I said, I am rooting for Banks. I hope Banks can return, reclaim the starting spot, and have a successful year, especially in a contract year. But this opens up the door for someone to take his spot. And so we're going to have to monitor this situation, see how this continues to play out. But unfortunately, not an ideal situation for Aaron Banks trying to get ready for the season. However, we did get some better news in regards to Talanoa Hufanga. We knew that he was going to be meeting with the team doctor this week to kind of give him the all clear to start the ramp up back to practice. That has happened, and he has succeeded. So he will begin his ramp up process to be able to start practicing and position himself to be ready for week 1. So that is a good thing. That's a positive thing. That's something that we want to hear. Jair Brown has played really, really well throughout training camp. Malik Mustafa. I mean, you had John Lynch comparing him to Buda Baker today on KMBR. And then George Odom has had one of the best camps out of anyone in regards to being a riser from last year to this year. So if Talanoa Hufanga comes back to form, this could be the best safety room the San Francisco 49ers have had in a long time. Maybe the entire John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan regime. So at least some positive news on the injury front in regards to getting all pro Talanoa Hufanga back out on the field. And it does sound like he is potentially ready to go. He will have a chance to go week 1. Now, let me say it like that. So, I've been watching Talanoa Hufanga off to the side at training camp. He looks like he's added substantial size. He looks stronger. He looks bigger. And I think, I've seen him jumping around. I've seen him hopping around. He looked fine. Obviously, he wasn't doing anything intense, but he was moving freely. So I think he will be able to integrate into practice pretty seamlessly, and I do believe he will have a chance to be back in the starting lineup week 1. So that's huge, absolutely huge. Getting Talanoa Hufanga back, that at least is some positive news amidst some more injury news. The 49ers have been snake bitten this offseason, just an unfortunate situation. But hey, at least you're getting this guy back. Let me know what you guys think about all these injuries. Let me know what you think about Aaron Banks and all that type of stuff. Let me know how you guys feel about this in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.